Hi everyone. So in this video we'll discuss about very basic important logical programs. Those are not related to string or array, but those are mostly related to for loops and if else condition. So those are very important and very basic programs. So we'll start with the prime numbers. So how find the prime numbers between 1 to 100. So okay, let's understand definition of prime number is a number which is divisible by only one and number itself, right? Okay, so we will apply the logic as to check whether number is prime or not. We'll divide it by from 2 to number divided by 2. So when the number is divisible by 2 to num divided by 2, which means for example we have to check 25 as a whether it's prime or not. So we will execute one loop which will start from 2 to 25 divided by 2 will be 12, right? So the loop will execute from 2 to 12, and it will whether in between that if the number we get remainder as 0, then it's not prime number, right? Because the prime number should be only divisible by one and number itself, right? It should not be divisible by two other numbers from like that 2 to 12. Okay, so let's understand this how to print the numbers between 1 to 100. Okay, so this is our main method, and inside this main method this is our printing statement prime numbers between 1 and 100, and this is our for loop. It starts from integer number is equal to 2, num is less than or equal to 100, num plus plus, because we will be printing from 1 to 100, right? Okay, so then boolean is prime is equal to true, and this is we have initialized is prime a variable as a true initially, and whenever the condition will satisfy we will make it as a false, right? The condition as I explained here, whenever the when we get the number is divisible by the 2 to num divided by 12. In this logic, if the number is getting remainder as 0, then the number is not prime. That's why we have written as is prime is equal to false, and we will be breaking that loop. Okay, so let's understand how it works. So this is the outer for loop. Num is equal to 2, num is less than or equal to 100, num plus plus is prime is equal to true initially. Then inside this for loop it will start from integer I is equal to 2, I less than or equal to num divided by 2, I plus plus. And then in this for loop we have one condition: if num modulus to I, num modulus I is equal to 0. So num modulus I, this will give us the remainder. So when we divide this number with this I, that 2 to num divided by 12, right? So this loop will execute that number. So it will check for each iteration. If that's the remainder is 0, then is prime is false, and it will break, right? And when the if is prime is true, then only it will print the number, because that will be is prime number, right? If it's true, then it's prime number. Okay, so let's understand very first for the very first iteration how it will work. So for very first iteration num is 2, so integer I is equal to it is prime is true. Then inside this for loop it will check num is 2 divided by 2, it will become 1. And when I is equal to 2 and I less than equal to 1, so this will not execute, this whole for loop will not execute, and it will print directly here is prime will be directly true, and it will print 2 because 2 is a prime number, right? It's not going inside this condition. Again for the next iteration num will be 3. Again here we get num is 3 divided by 2 will be 1, and again this for loop is we have initialized with I is equal to I less than equal to 1. Again this will be failing, so it will not print anything, and again here it will print 3 as a prime number, right? Again for the next iteration num will be 4, and here 4 divided by 2 will be 2. Now it will execute for one iteration, and in that one iteration we will get num as 4 modulus 2. 2 will be a 0, we will get remainder as 0, and it will make is prime as a false, and it will break the for loop. And is prime is now false, so it will not print 4. So this is how it will check the condition for all the numbers between 1 to 100, and it will print only prime numbers, right? So this is how it will print. So let's execute the code and check whether we have written code correctly, and it will print the prime numbers from 1 to 100. Yes, we are getting prime numbers between 1 to 100. So this is how we can print prime numbers, right? Yeah, that is it. Thank you. Hi everyone. So in this video we'll discuss about how to find whether the given number is prime number or not. So in the last example we already discussed how to find the prime numbers from 1 to 100. So in this video we'll discuss about how whether the given number is prime or not. So this is our prime number method, and inside this we have taken integer num is equal to 21, and boolean is prime is equal to true. So initially we have initialized is prime variable as true, and we have if else condition here. Inside the if condition we have written condition as if the number is less than or equal to 1, then is prime is equal to false. And and then we have printed this statement, system.out.print number is prime, and it will check whether it's true or false. Okay, so in the if condition we have this condition, and in the else we have one for loop which checks the same logic as we have discussed in the last video. Here integer I is equal to 2, I less than or equal to num divided by 2. So here in this case it will check from 2 to 10 I plus plus, and if num modulus I, which means it will check the remainder. So num currently is 21, and I value is it will change for each iteration from 2 to 10, right? And for each iteration when a remainder will become 0, the condition will become true, and is prime will become false. So the it will print 21 is prime false, right? So it's not prime, like that. So this is how it will work, and for each iteration it will check whether number divides or not, whether we'll get remainder as 0 or not, right? So let's execute and check for the 21 number. So 21 is prime, so it's false, right? So let's check for another number 23. So it's prime number, right? So 23 is prime, true. So this is how we can check whether the given number is a prime number or not. Yeah, that is it. Thank you.